Hey, how's it going, everyone? My name's Sammy, and this is my playtime. This week I'm doing a time-lapse of a drawing of me and my buddy Josh. We kind of have a dynamic where we're both into martial arts. We met up in Idaho, and we had an adventure in Washington before we went to Idaho. That that took a direction I didn't want it to go in. You can fill in the gaps however you want, but I'm sure I'll tell the actual story at a later date. But, he was teaching me about knife fighting, and he threw me over his head, did some wrestling. But we have a dynamic where I'm a dwarf and he's an orc, and we post pictures of orcs and dwarves to each other back and forth, and I was like, I'm talking about martial arts, and it seems appropriate that I draw me as a dwarf and him as an orc, taking on this ugly freaking dragon, Jesus. But anyway, I went back to taking Judo, and it's been a lot of fun. So why Judo? Well, the biggest reason is the closest one to my house. But other than that, I'm depicting myself as a dwarf, so I'm a small, but stocky, big guy with a lot of facial hair. So the kind of grappling, tackling type of combat works in my favor because I'm heavy with a low center of gravity, so it's easy to knock things over and harder to get knocked over. But this isn't my first rodeo with martial arts. I did martial arts from February to May. And it was the most peaceful time of my life because the rotation was literally wake up, do a workout with dumbbells beforehand, eat food and play an hour of a game, go do training, go to work because I was doing night shift. That's why the order is like that. And then go to bed. Rinse and repeat. It was so awesome to just have that rotation and just do that over and over and over again. I don't mind me some pointless grinding repetition. It's comforting in a way. But there's a couple of reasons why I stopped in May. One of them, moving. Not gonna get too into that. But another one was after basically that problem got resolved, I didn't go back because I was advised by a mentor that I should focus more on complete independence. The biggest one being get my driver's license, but I eventually was fuck it, I don't care. Because realistically, I'm at the point where it's I don't need a car. I'd like one. It's definitely on there, but having martial arts as my hedonistic pleasure is just better than any video game or porn or really anything. It just actually feels good and is good. It's guilt-free. It's the best high I can get. So I tried out the new martial arts closest to my house. Instead of BJJ/kickboxing, it was just Judo, and I'm cool. I tried it out, I enjoyed it. It basically was all the good elements of BJJ. And then I lost my job. Yeah. Yeah, I lost my job 3 days later. And that sucked a lot. But I got a remote job now where I'm doing video editing for ego hackers, and I'm also the narrator guy and a bunch of other things. I'm basically C.S. Joseph's bitch, and I like it. But I had to recover from that because it wasn't an immediate jump into there, and the start of it was a slow incline before I had the sustainable amount of money, so basically I drained my savings. But now that I am back in action, I went to Judo this week, and it was awesome. It fulfilled my bloodlust. First class, I got kicked in the fucking teeth Not like foot, because that probably would break things, but like the shin. It was just enough for me to be like, what happened there? And then like the second one, like, we were doing like breaking grapples, which grappling is kind of like grabbing. But like we were specifically grabbing like the gi, like the little kung fu robe or whatever. But like, you know, we were basically grabbing those and breaking them. And the sensei was like, take it slow, don't get hurt. And then 10 seconds later, the guy fucking grabs me over his back and fucking suplexes me to the ground. It's like, ah, awesome. And it's like, usually when I get hurt, I laugh. Because I'm like, I know this is supposed to hurt, but it doesn't hurt that bad. And I'd also argue too, it's kind of a way to like soften the pain because I'm more focused on laughing. Yeah, that didn't happen. It was more like a ah! As I saw my freaking spit splattered on the ground. I don't think I was bleeding. I could have been. I don't know. But I got up and the coach was like, "Nope, lay down. Could have a concussion." I was like, "All right, cool." I didn't, but like, you know. Well, if I did, I wouldn't know. I was like, well, there's one way to find out if I have a concussion. Is go to bed when I get home. And if I don't wake up, I have a concussion. I'm not going to the hospital. That fucking costs money. But, the longer term consequences, I'd probably have like a chest wall injury, at least from what I Googled. Yeah, my chest hurts a lot. Like when I try to reach for stuff or like, you know, bend down and grab something. Yeah, I got like this pain on my upper chest. That usually people get from like car accidents. And again, I'm not going to the doctor. Supposedly, it goes away in 3 to 6 weeks and I will just endure. You know, rest from my injuries, kind of, except I went back to class the next day. And, that was tiring. I actually was kind of numb on my body so much that when I was going against a guy for an arm bar, where they basically, you know, grab your arm, and if they, you know, keep going on that, they'll snap your arm. Yeah, I was like half paying attention, and I was also at like a weirder angle, so I didn't realize until my arm got popped. And I'm not gonna lie, I sprained my wrist once, and it's pretty comparable to that. Sometimes, like, when the pain sets in. Like, I'm moving it right now, my right arm, and it's pretty okay unless I, like, really try to straighten it. But, like, you know, that'll recover over time. Actually, I don't know why my left arm actually hurts a little more today than the right. I try not to be aware of my body too much, I'm not gonna lie, so this is kind of, like, weird. Like, it's better not to think about it, but I am. And in the next, you know, 20-ish minutes or so, I will be not thinking about it, so that'll be nice to go back to the ignorant bliss of just vibing. But, you know, back to the topic of the third class. Yeah, I definitely was fucked up, and I definitely was like, listen, I don't want to bitch out. I'm still in the game. That being said, however, can we, like, do our sparring sessions basically like a game of chess? One move, and you move, and I move, and you move, you know, that kind of stuff. It was fun, and they were willing to go along with it, and I was actually congratulated at the end by, like, the senpai of the group. Like, the guy that's, like, the highest belt that isn't the sensei. Like, yeah, good on him for coming in and, like, doing the things. And I was like, yeah, I like doing the things. It's, like, it's just outright pleasure for me. Like, I'm kind of a masochist for sure. You know, like, I like being pinned down by these big, sweaty, hairy men. There was, like, also a girl there, too, and, like, you know, she wrapped her, like, legs around my neck and squeezed, and, you know, that was awesome and all. But, like, it's, like, the same level of euphoricness if it's a guy or a girl to me. It's like, it's just martial arts. It's, like, more about the adrenaline rush of blood than it is about, you know, sexual energy. I mean, bloodlust is sexual energy, but it's not fucking energy. You know what I mean? But I still remember that first class that I got back to. You know, we were doing, like, the running in circles, like, you know, practice warm-up. And yeah, that felt good. You know, I had a big ass grin on my face. Call me Goku. I just want to take on the strongest guy and get the shit beat out of me so I learn. Oh man, but I learned a lot from that. I think no matter what I do in life, I think I'll always have some kind of martial arts in there. Because yeah, that's therapy. That's like, it's like, yeah, cool, whatever, you can talk to your problems with your therapist and stuff, but it's like, why not just have a life that doesn't suck? I think that's probably the most effective formula. Like, you know, like during the time I wasn't doing martial arts, it's not like I was working on anything effective. I was just kind of like filling the void, basically. But, you know, you can fill the void with garbage. It's not a solid foundation and would often go down. So, you know, other than like, oh, I have like 4 injuries to recover from, you know, I'm going to have more, I don't know, happy points, I guess, that I can spend and do work. So that's good. Yeah, I'm not gonna go without it. Like, it'll probably be one of the bigger decisions or bigger variables when it comes to any decision that I make from now on. I mean, if I get bored of it, that's one thing, but like, you know, I'm not. So, yeah. So I think that's all I've got for this one. If you guys want to join me on more of my escapades and journeys and other shenanigans, leave a like and a subscribe, but you can also follow me on Discord. Or I guess join the Discord. It's even cooler than following. Would you believe it? You like join me. Basically, I want to make like a mostly art-focused community, but we're still focused on like, you know, growing ourselves, improving ourselves, that kind of deal. So yeah, check it out if you get the chance. Alright, peace out guys. Later.